Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
It's that time again, kids. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Coming at you. Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here live on Facebook. Go figure, right? It's a kind of a weird place to be, but a good place to be. Come one, come all. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you can attend. Come inside, come inside. Anyway, welcome everybody to the masses, to my silent majority, my lurkers, all of you who write to me and say, Peter, love your show, but we're not calling in. I welcome you once again to Sunday Night Life with Peter G, live here on Facebook, The Peter G Show. It's all good, as long as you're watching and sharing. Speaking of sharing, I want everybody to share the show every Sunday. Anytime you see the show, they're rebroadcast through the week. All you got to do is hit share, start a watch party. The watch parties are what makes this whole thing happen. But either way, fresh tonight. Oh yeah, tonight's going to be a good one. We're going to get her done. That's right. Why, you ask? Absolutely a good question. Tonight I have California family law attorney. That's right. We're getting there. We're going there. It's good because I have... Hello. Hey. Start that watch party. Everybody. Again, 5 different pages. And there's a few here, a few there, a couple more there, a few hundred there, a few thousand there. When you start that watch party, you're sharing to all your friends, and you tell them, hey, check this out, start the watch party. And it's like a snowball, and it keeps picking up snow. Last week was, I don't know, it's just really weird. Because, again, you may think there's not a whole lot of people watching, but believe me when I tell you, through the week and even live, it's Facebook is kind of weird. You just can't see everybody, but there's a lot of people watching, and I'm very thankful for that. I'll always tell you how thankful I am for you, for being here and believing in me. I promise you can stick with me, keep sharing, keep helping us build, and I'm going to bring you a way bigger, better show. And you can say, I remember him when he was doing that Facebook thing. And so will I. I'll probably, those will be fond memories. It always is like that, right? It gets so big, and then, you lose track, and you got people and all this kind of stuff. And this is very intimate, but it's great. I love it. I'm still able to keep hold, and, I do a lot of things on my own, too, as well, like the birthday messages and things like that. I'm still able to do that. There's going to come a point when I can't. Either way, I could not do this show if it wasn't for my beloved, where are you? Bolt Energy. That's right, folks, Bolt Energy. Ask for it in stores, Bolt Energy. Electrify your senses. And a lot of people said, how the hell did you get hooked up with that? I go, well, I'll tell you how. We actually met because of what I'm doing, And he had a story to tell me, and I listened, and I said, you know what? I got this little show. Speaking of little show, I called my daughter a little while ago. I just wanted to tell you how much I love you. And Daddy's got to do his little show now, and there's dead silence. But it's all good. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So we talked, and he's like, I'm going to be doing this energy drink. I believe in it, and it's going to be a better energy drink. And believe me, the Bolt Energy people, they're workout fanatics. It's a cleaner energy drink. Here's the biggest plus. No preservatives. Go find that in an energy drink. You won't. It's in a little 8.5-ounce can. It's not one of those You see people walking around with giant cans loaded with sugar and all that kind of stuff. This is 80 calories. And this isn't even the sugar-free. And this gives you just enough get up and go to go do what you need to do. And most of all, for me, tastes good. Can't drink something that tastes like shit. I just can't. So I'm in. And you know what? And he looked at me and he goes, I like what you're doing. I go, okay. So, can we work together? And I don't know. And they said, yeah. And I go, okay. Please. Thank you, sir. Bolt Energy. Ask for it in stores. If they don't have Bolt Energy, you can go to www.drinkboltenergy and find out where you can find Bolt Energy. If you can't find it, talk to them. They'll tell you where you can. They're growing. It's not easy. You walk into a store, there's 40 million energy drinks out there on the shelves, and it's tough. It really is. But only the strong survive. And let me tell you, these guys are, again, workout fanatics, and their whole emphasis is on health. But everybody, I mean, between drinking coffee and this and that, this is just another format of, helping you to get through a long, stressful day in this day and age. And this is a cleaner way of doing it. So God bless Bolt Energy. I'm going to pop the can open right now. How we doing on time? Okay. Oh, I like that sound. I'm going to take a big sip of Bolt Energy, okay? Uh-oh. Oh, that's wonderful, Peter. Okay, here we go. To Bolt Energy and the Peter G Show and all of you guys for being super fans and being super supportive. I love you for that. It just tastes good. It's not overbearing, overwhelming. It's got some spark to it, sparkle. I like a little bit of carbonation. I don't drink coffee. Coffee is just boring to me. But this has a little bit of pizzazz to it. It's like ooh la la. And once again, my favorite sound. Bolt Energy, electrify your senses. Ask for it. Believe me, store owners will start bringing it if you start asking for it. Everybody wants to be somebody. It's just a matter of who wants to work for it. It's hard. Life is not that simple. Okay. So as I said, tonight, there's stories, there's a few things I want to... Oh, first of all, this past week, Nashville got hit by hellacious tornadoes. Tornadoes, one of those things, almost like an earthquake. I mean, they come out of nowhere. You don't know they're going to happen, and where they're going to hit, who the hell knows. They got hit really hard, and my heart goes out to Nashville. Nashville strong. I feel you. I do. That's messed up, and it's harsh. And more than a couple dozen people passed away died because of it. And it just hurts. I mean, that's your friends, your relatives, your family, and 1 minute you're sleeping, and it's messed up. All you can do is the best that you can do, and support, help. There's just certain things in life that you cannot change, and it sucks. But my heart goes out to you guys, Nashville. Got a lot of friends in Nashville. I do. And I mean, as far as I know, I'm lucky, and I still have all those friends. But there was a few people that just weren't as lucky. Wrong place at the wrong time. And again, it's life. Life of Peter G. We talk about these things. They may not be the easiest things to talk about, but that's because they need to be talked about. So, God bless those people and support. You know what I mean? You're lucky. Every day I wake up, I'm blessed. It's like I have the worst day in the world, and I've had... Believe me when I tell you, I do. But, I still have a better day than a lot of people because I'm here to tell you about it. So... Anyway, so moving along. Tonight, I have a woman who's a California family law attorney, and I like her because I've been watching her for about a year now through LinkedIn and things like that. I comb the internet. I just kind of look around, see who's doing what. And Miss Kelly Chang Rickert, what really not impressed me, but caught my ear was she's got this little thing on her. When it says her name, it says, "Marriage is grand, divorce is $100,000." Truer words have never been spoken, and that's again we had who do we have on? Sarah about a month ago, who is into the $500,000+ range of her, battling over child custody, which is insane, ridiculous. For most people, $5,000 is breaking the bank, let alone $500,000 fighting over child custody, which is totally friggin' ridiculous. There needs to come to a point where you go, what the hell's wrong with you guys? Stop it. But anyway, so I love when I have an attorney on it. I don't do this very often. I had a family law attorney from Pensacola, Florida, years ago. And I had her on, and a lot of people love the segments because it's great information. There's my people, Bolt Energy. You missed your plug, but it's okay. It's there. It's living on forever. Yeah, I love you too. I do. But the whole thing is with the information. A lot of people going through divorce don't understand. It's their first rodeo, and it's very confusing. It's very troubling. It's so I like when I have a great attorney to come on and I pick her brain, and you guys get to that's right, Bolt Energy in the house. Right. Electrify my senses. They are electrified thanks to Bolt Energy. All right, so I'm going to give Kelly a call because I got a lot to talk to her about, and my Bolt Energy girl too, right there. They're all there. Welcome. So we're gonna give her a call because I promised her that I'm gonna get her on kind of early, and I'm almost running on my regular schedule. Lots of questions for her. You're going to dig this. Promise you. Are we ready? All right. Let me wet my whistle. Did I tell you how much I appreciate you guys? Every week, we're on like clockwork. Everybody looked at me and they go, "You want to make Facebook like a TV channel? You're out of your mind." Hi, my name is Peter. Let's give her a call. Let's see what's going on. These things are pulling on me. Why? They're different. Oh, wonderful. Let's give her a call. And one ringy dingy.
This is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. It's Peter G. How are you?
Hey, Peter. Good. How are you?
I'm great. You're live on the air. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Awesome.
Hi.
Say hello to my 3 million people.
Hi, 3 million people.
Listen, first of all, I want to thank you. I know it's not easy because you mentioned a few things like family time and things like that, and I totally understand. But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to start from the beginning, because I don't know who, I think I kind of found you through LinkedIn or something like that. And what caught my eye was you have a very catchy little slogan, in my opinion. And that, and I think you know what it is. It's marriage
is grand, divorce $100,000.
Absolutely, and that coming from an attorney, that's pretty funny.
It's true.
It's very true, and you're a California family law attorney, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you've been practicing for how long?
20 years.
20 years. Okay,
I was licensed in 2000.
So you got a couple of years experience, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Probably more than I should.
Well, that's okay.
But
are you married?
Yes, I am.
You have kids?
We're working on 13 years.
Okay, you have kids?
Yep, 2 kids.
2 kids. What's the ages?
11 and 8.
Okay, so you're a busy woman.
Yes, always. Busy is good.
Yeah, so occasionally you'd cross my path, and And what would get me again, it's like, let's take today, for example. I found you TikToking again.
Oh, man, now my secret's out.
No, it's okay. But, I mean, a lot of people don't get TikTok. TikTok is like the wild frontier right now.
Oh, my gosh. TikTok is honestly the best thing to happen since, I think, radio.
Really?
It just reaches so many people.
Do you think?
And it's free, and the graphics are amazing.
Okay, but here's the thing. You don't think like LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, you don't think that reaches?
No, not nearly the same amount of people. And the best thing about TikTok is it's reaching the next generation. I think by the time you get to our age, everybody calls us boomers, even though I'm actually technically Generation X.
Uh-huh.
But, people they're very resilient, and they're very reluctant to change.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just discovered TikTok like 2 weeks ago, but I found that it's
no wonder
a great
why.
platform. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think TikTok is like from the youngest of young to the oldest of old. It's really weird. There's no format to it. It's just right now it's wide open.
I know. I see like 80-year-olds on it, and they have like 2 million followers.
As opposed to me, I have nobody. I don't even care if anybody follows me, but I put out content, and I just do because for some reason I am the I don't know. People watch me, but they just won't admit it.
Oh, just keep putting out your content. You'll get followers.
It's like, you don't want to follow me, do you? It's a sad thing. But the thing is, and I don't even care. Honestly, I don't, because with all those things, I just know that we keep putting out things, and people write me every week, and they say, Peter, we love your show, but we're just not calling in. Or people, we just want to watch you. And I go, okay, I'll take it. But
that's fine.
So
what should we talk about?
Whoa. No, we're not there yet. Hang on. We're still doing...
Oh, okay.
because okay, so you're having fun with TikTok, and I happen to, I don't know how I caught it again today, or something. You posted it on LinkedIn or something. What's this panda thing?
Oh, the koala challenge.
Koala, there you go.
So basically on TikTok, they have all these challenges. I don't know who invents them, but it gets, becomes trending, and then you just try to do it. So my family likes to do these challenges.
Okay. Who are you koalaing on?
My husband.
Okay, let me say that you look like you're about 75 pounds wet.
I'm close.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, you're a petite woman, right?
I'm 5'4", so I don't wear petite size clothing.
Okay,
but
you look like, let's face it, some people have wives that are a little bit heavier. Can we say that?
You can thank my mom and dad for that. So.
I'm just saying that
Nothing I did.
That what you
but,
just
yeah.
So you did this crawl. You did this crawl all over your husband, over his shoulders, under his legs. You just did this crazy ass kind of thing, and I'll give you credit for it. But the thing is, I don't think all men or women can do that.
Well, you have to go on TikTok and Google
know.
koala challenge, and there's all these 16-year-olds doing it much faster than me.
Okay, 16-year-olds. But again, I guess koala challenge, it doesn't mean married or this and that, because it's like, some people are like, my wife's so fat when she wears high heels, she strikes oil. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
it just happens.
That's unfortunate.
I know.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, So I just wanted to say that more power to you, but you can do that because you're pretty lanky. I mean, you're petite, and in my opinion, you're 5'4", and you can. Your husband was, can balance all that out. Some people just can't do that. It's just no way. It's just no way. I'd like to see that though with some heavier people, it'd be kind of fun.
You'd be surprised. Today we saw a couple, probably 200 pounds each, and they completed the challenge in a faster time than we did.
Well, that's pretty funny.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, okay. I guess so. I'll have to make a mental note of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough with the fun stuff. So here's what I want to talk about. You're a family law attorney, right?
Yep.
Do you cater to more high-end, middle-of-the-road, all the above, normal people, doctors, because there's a wide, vast, of people. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that get divorced, right?
Yes. So there are, I think it's the percentage of first-time marriages ending divorce is roughly about 40%, and then it goes up with second and third marriages.
See, that's low. I thought it was 60. Believe it or not, well, maybe it was a few years ago because that's how I got started in all this. I thought it was 67%.
I think the divorce rate for second marriages is 60%, and third marriages is like 88%.
Why?
But yeah, it goes up.
Why are the second and thirds more? You'd think you'd be better. You try to learn from the first.
Yeah, I guess that's just the way things fall. It's hard to, who knows? A lot of it is just modern society. We see commitment differently than, in the 50s, 60s. So divorce, a lot of people enter marriages not expecting it to last forever.
Really?
And so, yeah, I see a lot of people don't think that marriage is forever. They just,
then
it's
why
kind of
get
like
married?
a car, it breaks down, you get a new one.
Why
And
get
so
married
marriage
then? Why get married?
I think some people are still half traditional, and then they see all their friends getting divorcing. All marriages hit a rough spot.
Yeah,
all of them.
Right.
I don't care if you are Mother Teresa, who, by the way, never got married, or Jesus, who also
Right.
never got married. But if you're gonna be married, you're gonna hit a rough spot because it's two people living under the same roof, and you're totally different, and
It's
you're
hard.
raising children,
Yeah.
and you're under a lot of stressors.
Sure, in this day and
So-
age. I mean, my mother and father
Yeah.
argued like Fred and Ethel, but they just came from a different generation to where they just, you went, you battled, and then you brushed yourself off and then moved on.
That's exactly right, but that's not the case anymore.
No, it's not.
Nowadays you can get on your app and find 10 guys to hook up with, right?
Yeah.
Or you think you can find your fantasy out there, whatever. But I just think
Yeah, short term.
maybe society has a different
Right.
expectation of marriage, and I think that's what I try to do with social media is just try to poke fun at it. Don't take yourself too seriously, and then also try to. A lot of people fantasize about divorce, like they.
Get out of here.
It's like, well, I think a lot of people think it's like something great, or like, and it's like a fate worse than death. Like you don't want to do that. Like most people, after they hate their spouse or they get into such a big fight, if you can go seek counseling, you can go in the right direction. Like you don't want to go the other direction. But I think because a lot of people are going the other direction, they think it's normal to just get divorced. So I don't know.
Wow.
It's hard. It's hard, but.
About how many cases in general do you juggle at one time?
It used to be more, but now I would say I cap it at 20. So if I have like 20 active cases, I don't accept new clients.
And about how long in general? Like I know some can go on and on and on. And I've had a woman on. She was on a month ago. She's over $500,000 in child custody battle. I mean that's insane.
Yeah, see, that's just plain
stupid.
dumb.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid, and there's something wrong with her, and there's something wrong with her
It's
ex.
not her. It's her ex keeps dragging. I mean, but they both want full custody. I think there's the problem.
Well, it is her then. They're both stupid.
Yeah.
It's like they're both fighting over the kids. Why can't they work out a parenting plan? I don't understand.
I don't know, but she makes all the money, and she claims he's trying to get money off of her, and she's just paying lawyers and attorneys, and they're charging her interest, and she's having to foot the bill for his. Honestly, I think she's a little more in the right, but what do I know? But the thing is,
it's not about right and wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody
Your kids
loses.
Don't give a crap whose fault it is.
Sure.
Your kids don't give a crap who cheated.
You're right.
Your kids just worry about not losing a parent.
Right.
And so if you have a father that's fighting for custody, that's much better than an absentee father that is nowhere to be found.
That is true. And,
Why would you prevent the father from having custody?
She claims that the only reason he wants custody is because he's trying to get money out of her, and he doesn't really take very good care of her. I mean, it's complicated. I can't believe over $500,000.
It's all stupid.
It's
and I'm not faulting her,
No.
but, she's got to accept some responsibility for the deterioration of the relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not... Mother Teresa doesn't end up with Hitler in family court. It just doesn't happen. And that's my favorite judge, God rest his soul, Judge Black. That's his expression.
Yeah.
And every single family law judge views these cases as such annoyances because they're dealing with domestic disputes, very, very petty people.
It's petty stuff.
And it's like, why are you before me? And why do I have 100 cases today of the same damn things?
It's like being a coroner, though. I mean, if you do enough of this stuff, I get it. It's like you hear the same thing. It's just a little bit different, but it's the same shit.
It's not different. It's all the same.
Okay.
It's all the same. The hatred that you have towards your spouse, it is not unique or special to you. Everybody going through a toxic relationship feels that way.
Yeah.
And so I think the trick is to try to diffuse that, go see a therapist, go work, go see a parenting plan coordinator, and you try to find mental health help instead of lawyers, because lawyers, unfortunately, cannot handle emotions.
Right.
They're not good at diffusing people's psychopathic tendencies during this period.
Right.
And so what lawyers do is they generate fees, and then at some point, these people start hating their lawyers because in their mind, it's like, why are you charging me for this? But it's like, we only have a limited time of the day to do our work. And so if a client is taking up 6 to 8 hours of your day, really on nothing, you still have to bill them, and so that's why I make these videos. It's like, please get mental health help. Lawyers should not be billing their time.
It's hard.
They shouldn't be taking your phone calls when you're distraught because they can't do anything.
Because, see, here's the thing. If you've never been through it before, your whole world is burning to the ground, and it's the most important thing to you, and you're calling because you're in panic, and, oh, she did this. I get it. I lived it. I had to live it. I had to fight to be a father. I was given 50-50 off the bat, and unfortunately, because of anger, my ex wasn't having it. Even though I was a good guy, I turned into the worst guy in the world. And we had to fight for almost 3 years. And at the end of 3 years, and thousands of dollars later, I still had 50-50, and not even 5 seconds less of it. All over of anger. And I get that. This is why I'm doing this show. Because I've lived it, I understand it, and most people will destroy themselves because it takes you down. And you've got kids that look up to you and need you, and you need to be, and I had to pay my attorney just to go into court to answer to every ex parte, and this is what happens in the world. And the judge, they see you for 30 minutes in court, and they don't know, and do they actually read all the declarations and all that kind of stuff? And somebody's making
they don't read it, and you don't get 30 minutes in court. You get like 5 minutes.
There you go.
So.
And you're standing in front of a bunch of people listening to your dirty laundry, the he said, she said, and it's just rough. And it's like sometimes some really bad decisions get made because you couldn't make them on your own. I've got friends that have got sweetheart people, but they got the wrong end of the stick because this is how it ends up being.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know what to say because at the end of the day, I have been a divorce attorney for 20 years, and I have handled tens of thousands of cases. And so, no, I have not been through a divorce. I've had some pretty bad fights with my husband. I mean, it's not marriage. No marriage goes swimmingly. We're working with strong personalities and kids, raising kids while working. It's very stressful.
Yeah.
Everything is always
and
stressful.
Money, the whole thing. It's hard to live.
Yeah, and so, but I guess I can't speak for those people and how they get themselves in that hole. But I know that when my clients are there, I don't encourage that. I really, really discourage them from sinking into that depth, and I just don't think that that's good.
But
like if a mother comes up to me and says, I want sole custody and I will pay you $1 million because my parents have money.
Right.
And then it's like, and the father, I don't really see anything. Like
right.
The complaints are kind of petty.
Right.
Like, oh, my kid got lice at his house. Oh, his girlfriend's a total whore. I don't know. I hear these complaints, and it doesn't really go to the heart of the issue, which
right.
is like the child needs both parents in their
best
life.
Interest, right?
And then I just kind of discourage that kind of behavior, and I, point them to a therapist that I know that has worked with divorcing parents. Because, these kinds of things are not supposed to take the kid away from the dad. The kid is going to get lice, okay? If your kid goes to public school or private school or whatever, they're going to get lice. Doesn't mean that the parenting is bad.
Right.
Or maybe the bad dad doesn't cook. The only thing my husband knows how to make is mac and cheese. Does that make him a bad parent? No. So, but a lot of moms will think that. They will think, I'm the one that does the cooking, therefore I get sole custody. That's really not the way the courts think. And it is true that in a divorce, in a separation, usually the father will have to step up. And so the way I look at it is, let's give him an opportunity. And if he really doesn't use his time or he's really screwing up, then you go into modify. But you want to give him the opportunity to step up. People will step up.
Do you?
If you let them.
Do you?
Yes, of course.
I mean, I just want to
I
know.
mean, I'm talking about like school-age children. Obviously, when they're infants and breastfeeding, I don't believe in like absolutely 50-50 custody.
But do you think that there's, I mean, because to me there's good and bad everything. I think I had a good divorce attorney. He was just there to answer. And again, my first time around, I knew nothing. I just knew that I could not go in as an unarmed man when she had an attorney. But I truly felt that her attorney was riling her up to milk her dry. That's my...
There's a lot of attorneys that do that.
Yeah, making those car payments, whatever it was, because, I tried to be reasonable, and I've had in mediation, you know how sometimes you as an attorney, I've seen that they have to be mediators in court before it goes before the judge again, and this is what happened to me, and she's like, I don't understand what's going on here, but yet, she'd get riled up, he'd get her good and focused on, continuing on for nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of attorneys in this town and in other towns that do that. And I know I can't stand that kind of behavior. There's certain attorneys I will not take a case against because they do stuff like that. Yeah. And, it's fully 180 from what I stand for. So I just won't take I won't take a case like that.
And that's why I'm talking to you, because, again, a lot of people, when you're in this situation, your life, you feel like everything is at stake, and you're panicking, and you're dialing you and calling you, and, and you're being charged for, 10 minutes of, hundreds of dollars an hour, but, you're just in that moment, and you don't realize it. And then, before you know it, the bill is, out of control, and you're just too busy fighting the fight to work, until the realization is that you're going broke over nonsense.
Yep, that's exactly what family court is.
It is.
It's just petty behavior that wastes millions of dollars.
Right.
And here's the truth. Family law isn't constitutional law, intellectual property, or tax. Okay? It's actually one of the dumber areas of law. I honestly don't think it takes much, to sit for a family law exam and pass it, because family law is not that hard. A lot of it is 99% common sense. Okay, in property division, there's formulas and calculations that may be a little bit complicated that you have to hire a forensic for, but as far as the other stuff, it's not law. It's not that hard. So, you are dealing with, I always tell people it's 99% emotion, 1% law.
It's emotion. You're absolutely right. I was just getting ready to
and
get
so
the
you
words
just
out
have
of
to
my mouth.
find a lawyer that diffuses that. I set boundaries with my clients. I try to represent the good side, the reasonable side. So I usually take cases where it's like for example, I don't always believe in 50-50 custody. Years ago I represented a lot of women whose husbands were athletes. So they were professional athletes, mm-hmm. and they were always wanting 50-50, but their schedule did not permit that. I mean, when you're traveling and
right.
you're on the road 200 days a year, you're not going to get 50-50 custody.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you can't be a dad and you can't have joint custody, but the timeshare is not going to be 50-50.
Right.
Okay? And so, of course, they would throw the back, you just want more child support. And I will say some of my clients, they were kind of greedy, but at the same time, you could have worn a condom. You could have done something. You had a baby with these, you're calling the baby mama a greedy little baby mama, but I'm like, you kind of had something to do with making that baby.
No, but it does turn into a lot of, look, I changed my whole life because I had to make a choice. After almost 3 years of fighting for 50-50, I used to travel a lot, and I stopped. I dead stopped.
That's good.
Well,
that's the only way you're going to get 50-50.
Well, the thing was, I was given the 50-50 off the bat, and it was like, why fight the fight if you can't be there? Now,
exactly.
I could have been the guy who just wrote the check, and when I'm home, because believe me, I would have been home a lot. But in the music industry, touring now is unfortunately the only way to survive, and that's what I was in, and I made this choice, and believe me, it's been very humbling, because I had to make a lifestyle change. But my daughter doesn't judge me for my money. But the thing was, I know a lot of people fight the fight, and then after the fight is over, they want to go back to what they were. And it changed me as a man. I mean, it really did. But thank God, I just had, my child was my driving force. I mean, I just wanted to be that little girl's father.
I'm so glad you did that and you changed your life.
I did.
Because you came to the realization that you can't be a father if you're on the road all the time.
But see, if I was married, I would have still been able to be that guy, and that's the problem. But it wasn't her fault, and I wasn't going to let her pay the price. I don't know what she
That's
thinks of me.
exactly right.
I know she thinks
and
I'm crazy.
that's what clients have to realize is that things do change.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes if you're still married and both of you are okay with it and one person is traveling, the other person's at home, it works. But when there's a separation, both of you have to change.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like the person on the road, in order to get 50-50, I would think you would have to change.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't always think like exactly 50-50 timeshare always works.
No,
you know,
I get
it just
that,
doesn't work.
but I mean, again, I just think in general, when you're going, I mean, there's the few amicable divorces are so few and far between. Most of them.
There's no such thing as an amicable divorce.
I think there's a couple.
There's uncontested divorces,
Okay.
but I'm sure if they were amicable, they wouldn't be divorced.
It's harder when children are involved. You know what I mean? If you just have a regular divorce with no children, well, then whatever. You just go your separate ways and, you know, you figure it all out. But, I mean, the assets were like the least of the problems. But when the child's involved, I mean, that child needs a mother and a father. And you get some people that go, like, screw you, I'm going to make sure you never see your child again. And it's like, that is so wrong.
That is very wrong.
Unless you're a bad
I
parent.
really preach against that.
If you're a bad parent, I totally get it. If you're some, you know, crazy, you know, just you don't deserve it, then you don't deserve it. But there's a lot of poor souls out there that I have a friend of mine, and he's for 11 years. He's the sweetest guy in the world, and he got the short end of the stick for some reason in court. The judge just did not like him. And I don't know why. And just up until recently, and he's been, you know, spending thousands and thousands of dollars going before this court and just getting shot down. And all he wants to do is just be a father. And they're going to be adults before he can actually have a true, you know, visitation. I mean, he had such a low percentage of visitation, and there was no need for it. But, I mean, you know, when you're in court, whatever the judge says, you're screwed, good or bad.
Yeah, that's the way the dice rolls.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, in general, I mean, crazy cases. I mean, you got anything interesting you can tell me?
Yeah, I always have interesting, great cases.
I'm listening.
I will say I handpick my clients, so all of the clients, every single client that I've had, I've like really loved. So I've had to fire some, but
you've let
some
go.
I really care about my clients.
When you fire the client.
Yes, I have.
Okay. I mean, even though they're willing to pay you, you say, I can't deal with you.
I wrote a check back to a client for $50,000 once because I do not want to deal with him.
Really?
He was not listening to me. He did not pay attention to the law. Everything that was community, he didn't want his wife to have anything. Fired his ass. I'm not going to deal with that. I can't change the law. You don't hire an attorney to change the law. You hire an attorney that knows what the law is and applies it in a situation to get you the best settlement. Okay? Or if the other side is extremely unreasonable, then yes, you must fight. But let the other side be the unreasonable. And you cannot go in with a state of unreasonableness and expect to win in court. This doesn't work. You know? And so that's not how I work. And so I usually tell people, it's like, in the beginning of my career, I probably went to court a lot more, but now I know the law, I apply it, and I get what I want. So 99% of the time, I don't have to go to court because I reached a reasonable stipulation in order with the other side. Nobody has to go.
99% of the time.
I would say in a very high percentage, we stipulate, we agree, we settle.
That's pretty freaking good.
Yep.
That's beyond good.
It's better for everybody all around.
Of course it is, but when you're all wound up and people are getting in your ear, and it's you know, it's not that simple.
That's why attorneys have to wind people down.
Well,
we're not supposed to wind people up. There are people out there that do that.
Yes, a lot of them.
I tell people, like, you know, my husband and I are very healthy people. You know, like, we eat well. I cook every night. No matter how busy I am, I cook dinner for my family.
Right.
And we exercise. We stay healthy. We have a healthy mind. The stuff we put in our body is healthy. None of this toxic stuff. And so, you know, I really advocate good mental health, and I always advocate for exercise and helping my clients get through it. Sometimes I'll take walks with them.
Really?
You know, it's just, yeah.
You are something else.
Get
out of here.
Get out of this. Don't eat donuts, you know. Just go out and take a walk.
I know, but take a walk with them?
Of course. Sometimes they need to walk a little bit.
I've never heard that one. That's awesome.
I mean, I bill them for it, but, it's time well spent.
I know, but most people, it's like, you go to their office, and then for the first couple of times, and then it's nothing but phone calls back and forth. I need this, I need that, declarations, keep notes, make notes.
Sometimes they'll come, and they'll cry, and I'll say, let's go take a walk. And they'll talk to me, and for that 1 hour, and then inevitably at the end, it's like, I feel so much better.
Wow.
This was so worth it.
Wow, who are you?
I'm a Christian divorce attorney, and I wish I didn't have to be a divorce attorney, but unfortunately I do have to support my family.
No.
LA is a very expensive place to live.
Yeah.
It needs 2 incomes. I didn't come from an inheritance. I didn't come from a family of judges, so it's, lawyers or anything, so I got to work to make a living. So that's the thing on TikTok. A lot of people are like, we hate divorce attorneys. What's worse, the people getting divorced or the divorce attorneys? I'm like, dude, I got to make money. I'm like, trust me, if I can make money any other way, I would.
At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. It's like, my attorney, it's like, he didn't call me, I called him. But just like on this woman that I had a month ago, I mean, she's gone through a handful of attorneys. She's fired and switched, and I think at the end of the day again, it's like, the fact that they both want full custody is just...
Let me tell you something. If you had 10 attorneys, it's not the attorney. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
I know.
Like, if a client comes to me and had 3 other attorneys and she's not happy with any of them,
yeah.
Do you think I would take a case like that? No way.
Well,
not with a 10-foot pole.
I get it, but believe me. But if you heard her story, which is up on YouTube, I store it all up on there.
There's 3 sides to every divorce story.
You're right.
3 sides.
3. I get it, but that's what I mean. She left me at a standoff. I'm going, okay. He's constantly filing. She blamed it on he files, multiple, just continually filing motions, and he's good at it. But and driving her into court, and again, I guess she's does fairly well, and I think the driving force was money, but which is always the worst of all the evils. But I didn't know what to tell her. Besides, I just think that the fact that they're both trying to get full custody, that's impossible. You'd have to be a super awful human being to. I said your child deserves both, whether he's a great father or not so great father. He still kind of needs to be there. You need to like let it, settle. And I don't know.
I mean, I have I don't even know if it's appropriate for me to say this, but I'm like, for $500,000, the only way you can get full custody is hire a hitman. I hate saying that on the air, but I'm there's no way you can pay $6 million to an attorney and you're not going to get full custody. No way. No way.
It's just ridiculous, and it just blew my mind. In a lot, I know we're very LA, but in most parts of the country, I mean, $5,000 is a lot of money to somebody. You know what I mean? And that's what most.
I wish this couple the best of luck. And I really hope
it's kind of crazy.
Help.
I don't know what to tell her, and I will recommend her to listen to this show, because the problem is
probably not, because I said some pretty awful things.
No.
I don't know
you know
her,
what?
And I don't know her personal health.
Hey, look,
but,
reality's a bitch. I mean, the stone problem is that sometimes you do. I remember somebody telling me that you don't hear yourself crying. Somebody's got to point that out. It's like, wake up, stop. You get so involved in the war that's what happened to my divorce. I mean, we were so into the fight that by time the smoke cleared, and you can see what was going on, there was a body count and the collateral damage. You were just too busy. You didn't notice all the damage that was going on until the reality of, like, look how much money we spent on nothing. And then you have people that say, you could have given all that money to your child for college or this and that. And
I just think it's really sad.
It is sad.
Criminal law, if you're a victim of criminal law, basically like a stranger is coming up to you and murdering a family member. You're a victim of a crime. Like, that's truly, you're a victim. But in family law, you had something to do with the choice that made you here. Like, every single family law litigant chose their partner. Okay? Whether you had a child with this person or you married them, you got yourself into this mess. That's very unlike civil law or criminal law, where it's a coincidental. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if it's 99% the other person's fault, there's 1% that's your fault, and you need to clean up that side of the street.
I get that,
You just have to recognize that.
I know, but it is a crappy kind of. Here, how do I put this? When I finished up, and I've talked about this a gazillion times, unfortunately, because this was the worst analogy that I wanted to hear. At the end of like all the crap, I said, Your Honor, she has drugged me into this court for 2.5 years saying he's this. We come to court, he's not that. Next month, he's that. I'm not that. I said, when is this going to stop? And he goes, Mr. Gisellas, I completely understand what you're saying, but, and he says, I didn't tell you who to marry. I didn't tell you who to have a baby with. And I totally got that, but I thought that was a little bit weird stuff, because it's like, yeah, nobody goes into this thinking I'm going to go through this crap. You know what I mean? You love that person, and I get it. At one point, you would die for that person, and now, unfortunately, we want to kill each other. But yeah, I don't know. I felt
every judge feels that way.
I get it, because they hear it all day long.
Every single judge and every single family law attorney feels that way. I know it's cold, but it's true. It's not criminal law. It's not civil law where you don't get to pick who's on the other side.
Yeah.
Family law, you picked who was on the other side. You picked it.
Yes.
And even though it's not your fault because this person turned out to be a psychopath,
well,
you still picked it.
Anger makes you do stupid stuff.
I mean, I don't know. My clients are usually the good guys. You know, the good people.
Yeah,
so I really sympathize with them.
My attorney said, keep wearing the white hat. Keep wearing the white hat. I was sick of wearing the white hat. It didn't pay. But the thing is, that's who I was. I mean, you know, I went from being the greatest thing since sliced bread to he fooled me for 13 years. You know what I mean? Just anger makes you, it's just stupid. Anger, you do stupid things when you're pissed off.
Yeah.
I just thought that during the second, if you got married a second time, because I've interviewed many people, and from celebrity to normal people, that said the second time after going through that hell for the first time, you kind of think it out the second time around. Even if it doesn't work out, you try to do it a little more logically and more adult. True or false? You're telling me wrong. It's worse.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been through a divorce, so I don't really.
I know, but
at the risk of sounding judgy, I can't say.
No,
all I know is
you're not judgy.
People are suffering in their own private hell, and I think most of them need mental health professionals rather than lawyers.
But the thing is,
and I really do sympathize with that.
But I can't speak. Have you handled?
I can't.
Have you not handled people that have been married and divorced like 2 or 3 times?
I haven't personally. I did one guy's divorce twice.
Oh.
So I did his first divorce and the second divorce.
Repeat business.
Most people know.
Oh, really? Okay. See, I've met a lot of. This is what I do, but I mean, I've talked to people that have been married 4 times, and the 4th time they're married 25 years and they're happy as hell. They are totally in tune with each other, and life is good. And I looked at him and I said, "How the hell did you get through the first 3? Because the first one almost killed me." Yeah, I know. You're still young. You'll get there. I mean, there's got to be people that, like, you know, they've married and divorced 2 or 3 times, and they need a lawyer. But the thing is, see, maybe that's a good thing, because if you're not seeing the second and third, like, marriages, even if they're not your second or third, the repeat customers, because the second time you learned how damaging it was the first time, you try not to do that again. Hopefully. Hey, Pete, I got people texting me. Hey. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, you're going to like this. This is going to be good. But again, the whole thing with you was, you know, your catchy little phrase, marriage is grand and divorce is $100,000. And that's where you got my eye. I go, okay, this woman's cool. Where'd you get that from?
A few years ago, there was a supervising judge in the LA court, and she wrote this article, and she said that the average cost of a litigated divorce in Los Angeles County combined was $100,000.
Oof.
And it's actually true.
I know,
but
it's sad.
I think it's usually a little bit more.
Really?
Like if you're fighting, I mean, the longest divorce I litigated lasted 12 years, and I think they spent a combined $6 million. But,
that's
you know, it's
yeah.
I'm $500 an hour, so it's like you go through your initial retainer really fast. My retainer happens to be between $10,000 to $25,000, but that goes really fast.
Yeah.
And then after that, the more you fight, the more it goes.
Yeah, and everybody's all riled up, and you're pent up, and it's like he said, she said, and they're both going at it, and life keeps going on. And lucky you, I mean, regardless whether you're telling her to he or she to calm down, the other opponent, you don't know what you got when you go. Oh, I guess you know a lot of the lawyers that you deal with, right?
Yes, I know most of them.
Do you basically, are you like downtown LA family court?
I'm in Pasadena.
Oh, you are?
And a lot of my cases are in Pasadena courthouse.
Okay. It's a nice area. A lot of money out there, unfortunately, going to waste.
I try to keep the money in my client's pocket.
You're a good girl, I can't say that for everyone, unfortunately. It's like that's why you're on this show, because I would never have had you if I thought you were shiesty. It's just that way. But I could tell you.
Well, I will say people have to make a living. And so maybe they're not as in a, fortunate place as me. So they, I can't, it's hard to, I don't want to pass judgment. I never want to pass judgment on people.
I can.
That's why it's like, I just do my job. If I sense that there's toxic people, I don't represent them. I don't tell them that they're toxic. But I do care about them, even if they're toxic. And so I try to refer them to mental health professionals. And that's too. And also I'm a solo, so it's like I can't take more than 20 cases anyway. Let's talk
about mental health, okay? Because the thing is, you're freaking out. This whole thing, you watching everything burn to the ground, and you don't know if you're getting a good mental health professional or a not so good mental health professional. There's good and bad in that department too.
Awesome ones.
You do?
And so I do refer people to really great mental health professionals.
Because I'm telling you, I've seen the good and the bad in that department too. And unfortunately, when my daughter was very young, we were divorcing, and she says she needs help because she doesn't want to be with him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, here we go. And thank God I felt we got with one that she saw her. I thought we were going to get milk dry in that department too, because they would need to make a living. And she was actually, yeah, well, you don't know. And I'm always on guard. And thank God she saw her 2 or 3 times, my daughter. And she looked at me and she said, if there was a problem, no. She says, honestly, I don't think there's a problem with your child. I think there's more of a problem with your wife or ex-wife with child separation than there is with the child. And I said, thank you. And then when it got to court, the letter read, if there was a problem, I no longer see the problem with the child. She wouldn't say what she told me. Which would have spelled it out. It's like the mother is having a problem with this, not the child. But she wouldn't do that. And I just didn't want to subpoena her into court and spend another several $1,000s just to prove a point. But, I don't know. I've seen some mental, like psychiatrists and, therapists that were more screwed up than their clients and charging, $150, $200 an hour. But there are good ones out there, too.
Yeah, I will only work with good ones.
All right. Fair enough. Here's the deal. I truly appreciate you coming on. Number one, again, I I pick and choose. I'm very selective, but there was something about you. Number one, that slogan caught me, and then I've been privately, every time I watch you come across my LinkedIn page. LinkedIn is very important to me. That's all my TV people and all the people kind of, I somehow or another we're connected. And I think I picked up on you a year ago or more.
Wow.
Yeah. And because, and so all of a sudden, then I saw the TikTok thing.
Well, I'm glad that you got through your divorce, and, thank you for having me on your show. And
I got through my divorce. I just think that it's not about me. I just lead by example. I just think that there's so many people out there that have so many unanswered questions that think, like their life is spiraling downwards, and it's people like you who come on this show and talk the reality, besides me, about it, and especially like you're the lawyer, you're from the other side. They need to hear this because it's so important, because when you're going through this, your head is spinning. You're not thinking in the right realm. So it's important.
I recently had a friend that I had lunch with her, and she told me that about 12 years ago when she was going through her divorce, she's actually a divorce attorney now, but she told me 12 years ago her husband actually came and saw me, which I don't remember because I have really bad memories. But, she was like, I wanted to hire you, but he talked to every lawyer in town to conflict me out, so I couldn't get a lawyer. And, they went through a couple $100,000 in fees. And then she told me she took this transformative class, and it changed her heart. She's like, I just got tired of the fighting. It was really killing us, and they have 2 young kids.
Right.
So she took this retreat. And when she came out, she said, I called him on his birthday, and I said, can I please take you to lunch? And at first he was suspicious because he was like, why are you manipulating me? Mm. But she was like, look, I know you don't believe my words, but just my actions will speak louder. I promise from now, here on forth, it will change. And it changed. She's like, we're really good friends now. And they're, they co-parent beautifully. Her car broke down. He would pick her up now.
It should be like that.
Yeah. And so maybe I got to get the name of this transformation class, but I think everybody, instead of, even if it's like a couple $1,000s, like take that class instead of paying for 5 hours with an attorney.
Right.
It's just more productive. You got to change your heart and the way you deal with your ex, because you have children with your ex, and it's forever.
Yeah.
It's forever.
It really
it's forever. No matter how much you hate this person, you cannot cut them out. You cannot dissect them. Your kid is going to graduate. You're going to sit on the same side. Your kid is going to get married. You're both on the same side.
I know. I worry.
And so instead of trying to, surgically remove this person from your life, go to a transformation class and figure out how you can embrace this person that you hate.
Right.
That's what I would do, because once you have a kid with someone, it is forever. It's forever.
It really is.
Not for 18 years.
No, I get it.
It's forever. You're a part of that DNA,
I think
and your child is half of that other person. So instead of hating that person, go to this class to teach you how to love this person that you hate.
Or at least be reasonable.
Yeah, that's kind of hard, though, because emotions kind of prevent you from being reasonable.
Believe me, I'm there. I mean, I kept putting my hand out.
But if my friend could do it, she was like, we had the nastiest divorce ever.
Listen,
and now we're friends.
You give me that, divorce.
Yeah, I will.
What do you call that? I'll listen to them.
She said it was a transformative, like it was like a retreat, and she went to it, just her.
I mean, I'll be glad to put them on the air too, because I'm all about helping to not be so painful. Life is just too damn short. It changed me as a man. It just did. It aged me as a man, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I just felt like
it ages everybody.
Yeah, it's harsh. So I'm all for that.
Aging the process as much as divorce, because stress ages you.
There's so much business right now. There's a company, I did an interview with a company called Vesta Divorce, and they have everybody from financial consultants to life health experts and all this kind of stuff. They're trying to prevent you from going down that dark road. And in fact, next week I got somebody that from that company, and it's all in the Pasadena area, the Beverly Hills, Boston, Massachusetts. I mean, it's big business, but it's trying to prevent you from going and just doing more damage that needs to be done. Because out of impulsive, just anger, that you get worked up.
I really highly encourage things like that instead of spending hundreds of thousands on attorneys. We're very limited in what we could do. We're not trained in mental health, we don't know how to diffuse the situation.
Do you have to be really trained? I mean, to me, it's just like common sense. You see it every day, and you go, "Oh my God, this."
Yeah, but a lot of attorneys lack common sense.
Really?
So you gotta protect yourself.
Okay.
Because these situations.
I get it. I'm making a joke.
And people get shot.
See,
and so you
I know.
I don't take cases like that. Over the summer, I had a case where I got a verbal threat, and I was out of that case in less than 3 seconds.
Wow. See,
seriously.
Because I'm the farthest,
client, and I was like, sorry, I just can't do it.
I get it.
To hire a firm with security,
and
I was out.
I know, and it sucks because at the end they came to you, but I am no professional, not at all. But I've lived on this planet for 58 years, knock on wood, so far. And you just learn, and so I just we share stories, and that's all I'm doing. But it's to me, it's common sense. But you're right, not everybody has that, and it's amazing because there's these highly qualified people that can't figure out the simplest of things, but yet they can do all the numbers and fractions, and they can do all the stuff that most people can't do. But yet they lack the empathy and the just the understanding of normal human. I don't know how to put it. But it's a bitch. It's a bitch.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, listen. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your life. I know you're busy because you got kids and there's Sunday night, and unfortunately my show is at this time, and I was afraid I was going to lose you, and I really, for some reason, my gut told me I wanted to talk to you, and I'm so thankful I did. And
thank you for having me.
No. And
so
maybe
we'll
we may do this again sometime down the road, but I think you're very cool. You're not your average, just give me the money and you go through the motions. And I already felt that, and that was my little, intuition. And I'm so glad you came on.
Yeah, but that's not such a. I've made financial decisions that allows me to reject cases.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that all people have to make a living. That's at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do.
No, that's true. But the thing is,
I don't fault any of these divorce attorneys because at the end of the day, it's not their job.
That's true.
It's not their job to.
But you have a
I go
conscience.
above and beyond, but I don't think every attorney has to meet that standard.
Right.
So that's all I have to say about that.
No, that's okay. You have a conscience. You still are a little, you still use your discretion for things, and what's right and what's wrong. And I think that I truly believe that if you, whether it meant a couple of dollars or not, you would refuse it if you didn't feel right about it. Correct or wrong?
But if I wasn't financially secure, I might
take
those cases and generate fees. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm not in that situation. It's like I'm not in the single mom situation where they don't want the dad to have custody because there was abuse.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't. It's hard.
Okay.
I was contacted by a single mom that was really offended by my post. She's like, your post, saying that joint custody is better is almost you judging people.
That's not okay. That's not everybody, but in general, yes, it is. Unless
but I was so grateful that she pointed that out to me because I didn't even that wasn't my heart. I did not intend my message to be misconstrued, but then I realized it could be construed that way because I'm not in their situation. I've never been through a toxic divorce. I have a wonderful husband. I've never, that's why it's like I try not to. Everything is all blanket until it happens to you.
I get it.
So
I get it. Either way, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on the show. Again, I had to break ground with you, and I reached out to you because I felt you're of worth. And I promise you, this show's going to go up and be uploaded to YouTube to live on forever. It's going to be rerun.
Yay.
It's going to be rerun. The Facebook crowd, it's the weirdest thing. I love Facebook because they're all older people that have been through some shit in their lives. And it's much appreciated. This information you're giving, I promise you, is invaluable and will live on. The LinkedIn, it's going to go to LinkedIn in a couple of days, and it'll be there for you. And through the week, there's going to be little clips and excerpts of this conversation that get brought out there. But I thank you for your playfulness of being doing the things you're doing, but yet being a very serious and taking it very serious as a family law attorney. I do.
Thank you, Peter.
Listen,
and I'll talk to you soon. Send me the link, okay?
There'll be many. If you just monitor, are we actually friends on LinkedIn? I don't even know. I just saw you. I don't remember.
I think so because I'm looking at it right now. It's
Are you?
Peter G Show, and it says First Connection.
Yeah. So all that stuff through the week. There'll be a few, like 1 minute clips. We do. I don't know. It's been getting kind of slack lately, but there's like 1 or 2 pieces a day that go out from the conversation of the show through the week. Just little pieces to keep things going on, but the whole show will be uploaded in a day or so, as it always is, and you can feel free to take it and capture it and use it to your advantage, whatever you want to do. Again, you're very playful with the whole thing, and that's a good thing, because being a serious stick in the mud doesn't really do it nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you go. And again, I thank you so much for giving me the time. I hope in the future, maybe one day I'll have you sitting next to me and talking about this, because this is a thing that people just need to hear. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but when you're in that moment and you're confused, most people don't know where to turn. And this is a very realistic conversation that helps people. I promise you, the way this thing will live on, it'll pick up and like a snowball, it'll keep on picking up snow, because they just need to hear it. And you're, one of the more sensible, and that's why I have you on my show.
Thank you, Peter.
All right.
Have a wonderful night, okay?
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kelly Chang Rickert, family law attorney from California, giving us her version of being a sensible family law attorney. We're out of time. Time went. So I want to thank everybody for coming on and listening. Watch parties. I need everybody to do watch parties. Again, I want to thank my beloved Bolt Energy. Bolt Energy. Ask for it in stores. Electrify your senses. No preservatives. If you can't find Bolt Energy, go to www.drinkboltenergy and ask for it, and they'll tell you how you can get it. Again, I thank Kelly Chang Rickert, California family law attorney, for coming on and giving a very sensible description of what it takes to be a family law attorney under reasonable terms. My name is Peter G. You're watching Life with Peter G, The Peter G Show, right here live on Facebook, live every Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific, 10:30 Central, and 11:30 on the East Coast. We're out of here because we're out of time, and then we kind of made a pact that we're not going to run over all the time. Tonight's one of those nights. Love you guys more than anything. Don't take no shit from nobody, but don't be a hard ass, all right? Kindness. I love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Divorce Dad.